Let's talk about posters for a moment. Every year there are a lot of different scientists that gather around the world at these academic conferences to share and learn about the latest research in their fields. One of the main events at these conferences is always the poster sessions. These sessions have great potential, but what I've found is that they're mostly feeling very underwhelming. Most for the same reasons we saw in the designing lesson. First of all, it's just overloading posters with too much information. The intent, I think, is often to showcase the depth of the work, but as a result, it just becomes a cluttered and overwhelming visual. It's just really hard to read. And also here, the alignment is so important for visual clarity. And yet we see so many misaligned content that makes a poster look messy and just unprofessional. It's not something you want people to link to your research. Because you have such a big canvas to work with, color actually plays a really big role in designing and the readability of that poster. I see researchers still using colors that just clash or are really hard on the eyes, and just relying on your institution's background color can be a really missed opportunity to make your poster pop out. Just make it stand out from all the rest. The primary goal of any poster presentation is to transfer knowledge. Your poster should be designed in a way that allows viewers to quickly understand and find the main findings without getting lost in a sea of text. The content should be concise, clear, and focus on the key points of your research. This is where we feel the traditional wall of text approach has become really ineffective. You walk around the posters and there's just too much to read and there's never enough time. Sometimes it's even boring to go one of these sessions. So we had to look around for alternatives, and we actually stumbled upon something called the better poster. This method, I think, really tries to focus on making the poster as approachable as possible, while also giving you that opportunity to just share your research as a presenter. It helps you network with your peers. Not only that, if you design your poster well, it can save both a lot of time for you and your viewer. For you, it's just less time explaining basic concepts over and over again, and more time discussing the actual science. For the viewer, it means that they can quickly understand the main points without spending too much time on each poster separately. I think that means to really have more time to look around and see what's happening in the space. Let's step away from the usual posters and take a look at how we design the better poster. At the heart of your poster should be the main finding. This should be presented pretty out there, much like a billboard, to make sure that anyone who is even just walking by would be able to see it and know what it's about. This is where you can also add a key figure, a graph, or something really visual to support that main finding, because those visual aids, they always help to quickly connect with, oh, that's what's happening on this poster. Now, next to that, you actually have a sidebar, something that provides additional details for the people who are more interested and they want to read a bit more, even when you are not around to explain things. This can include the usual stuff on the poster, the methods, the supplementary data, some graphs, some references, and it gives both the casual viewer and the people who are seeking more depth a chance to really engage with what you've been doing so far. Now, on the opposite side, we have the presenter sidebar. This is where you as a presenter can add notes, some key things you need to remember, maybe some prompts that help you think back about a few things during the interaction with your audience. If you want to know more about this whole approach about the better poster, I really suggest going into the further watching section of the workbook, because there you can find links to the actual videos of the people behind this whole new thing. Definitely worth a look. Now, here's a little bonus for everyone who wants to share a little bit more behind the traditional poster format, like something online maybe. You can actually create smaller, condensed versions of your poster. they're super easy to share. These mini posters can be shared on platforms like Twitter or X now, you know, don't get me started on that. LinkedIn, Instagram, even TikTok nowadays. So turning the dissemination of your work actually into science communication, which is really interesting and important. But how do you do this? Instead of just a static image, you can create an animated slideshow, something we call a GIF of 3 to 5 slides that actually cycles through the main points of your research and then how you got there. The only thing is it might take some time to experiment with getting the timing of those GIFs right, because not everybody reads at the same speeds. Also, the content structure is really important. So order your content in a way that makes sense to your audience. I think start with a main takeaway, followed by a supporting figure or some visuals, and then you can go into more background information and explain how important your findings really are. And then you can end with your methods showing how you got all of this information in the first place. What I also know is that there are many templates available online, and like these templates are designed for each platform. So just keep the information to the point and the font size is readable, and you can just use these templates and that will kickstart everything, just get you going. And like that, you're reaching new people beyond your own network. Now you can find more supporting exercises in the workbook that will really guide you along the creation of your own slides and poster. And when you're ready with that, we're going to take a look at a real example, a behind the scenes look of how a professor prepares for giving a presentation at an online conference. So we'll see you there.